So welcome back to the second couple of videos. One video will be going through the fermentation fridge setup, and one video going to be making the beer. Got a few mods to do yet. I've just got to add the thermowell to the lid. I've already got one hole there for the rubber grommet for the air valve thingamajig, whatever you want to call it, and I've got to put another hole in the side there to accept the thermowell, because I'm going to put my Inkbird temperature probe inside that. So I've eyed it up. I've lost the instructions for it, but it looks like it's 19mm, I think. Yeah, 19mm should do that. So I'm going to put a hole through that, bring the camera around, zoom in, put a hole into that. We'll set that up, and then put a bit of Vaseline. Vaseline's turned up. So apparently you put that on all joints and all the seals. It helps seal it up. So let's get on with that now. So yeah, as I said, I've got 19mm spade bit. I'm just going to put it somewhere. I'm not going to just offset, I think. I'm not too close to this. I've done a week in the lid, so I'll put it offset, I think. Somewhere there. Let's hope this works. That's it. So that's the hole done. It's a bit off shape. I'm just going to get a little bit of a emery to wipe that, take the burrs off. Actually, it wouldn't hurt. I'm hoping it's not the best fit in the bloody world, is it? I think that'll be alright. It's just a tiny bit too big. I'm tempted to put some PTFE tape on that. A little bit of plumber's PTFE tape, which is water safe, so it should be okay for this. Might put a little bit on the thread at the bottom. Roll that on there. You probably don't need it. Open for the hole. I think I'll actually let's put it all on there now. While it's there. Build up with PTFE. Make it a bit fatter. I should have somewhere. I'm going to do the O-ring. I don't think I've lost the bloody O-ring. Poke that through. That's better. O-ring. The nut. Nut goes that way with there's a little curved piece on that nut, so that goes on top of the O-ring. Like so. Tighten that up. Nice and tight. It's fitted once. Muck about it again. That is tight. So that's the thermowell. That's the thermowell fit to the lid. Now we have a rubber grommet. You might have to warm this up, I'm not sure. That should poke in there. the rubber grommet fitted. That should be both sides filled like that. That's a little doobry. That is it. So that, my friends, is that. That's a thermowell fitted. I'm hoping that'll reach down to the beer. It doesn't have to take heat from the beer when it comes up, because it's not gonna, hopefully that's long enough to dip into beer. It's one of the longest ones I could get, I think. But that's what a lot of people on the internet seem to be using. I'm just waiting on Amazon to deliver the new Inkbird temperature controller. Next stage now is to put that on top of the barrel, the fermentation barrel. Put some sanitizer in it with some warm water. Give it a good old shake so this all gets sanitised. And I put a little well thing in that. That's a little I think that lets air in or whatever, I don't know. I don't, be honest, I don't know. But that goes into that. Like so, and that's the setup. You can see that. Take the lid off, put a drop of water in there. Put the lid back on. So what I'm going to do, mix up some warm water into my fermentation barrel, put the lid on, give it a good shake. And then we'll start making some beer. And when the Inkbird turns up, I'll start making the fermentation fridge and get that running. I'll take the camera under the bar, I'll show you that. First things first, pack away. Right, here we go, I'm going for it. I've drilled the holes in the top of the lid. I'm down the bar. I've got no water supply down the bar at the moment. That's one of my next projects. I think I'm going to run water down here into that blue pipe, through that blue pipe, HEP 2.0 pipe, whatever it is. I've got the thermowell fitted on. That came out alright. I've got the little doobry fitted on the top there. I've got instructions on the box which I'm going to follow. And this is the beer I'm making. If you've watched my last video, part 1, that's the beer I'm going to try and make. It's got instructions on the side, so I'm going to follow that pretty much to the letter. Never done it before, so I'm going to give it a go, see what happens. I'm pretty confident it should come out alright because I've got the fridge set up with a temperature controller. The noise in the back you can hear is a kettle boiling away. So I've gone indoors, I've got a kettle full of water, that's boiled. I've filled some cold water up into the fermenting bucket. So I'm going to splosh that in there, a couple of spoonfuls of sterilising solution. And I'll put the lid on, flick it a little about, stir it up. Then I'm going to run indoors, get a hot pan of water, put the 2 tins of the glug, what I call the glug, in, and then we'll see what happens. So let's pour this hot water in the fermenting bucket. Never done this before. Water, hot water, hopefully makes warm water. Let's hope it don't melt. Right, that's in there. Couple of spoonfuls of this stuff. That's the Young's Brew steriliser and cleaner. 2 to 3 spoonfuls of this. Right, that's the powder one. Apparently the tablets are meant to be a bit better, but I'm not sure it's meant to be spoonfuls or... I don't know what a spoonful is really. These are 2 spoons, but I'll put 3 of them in. 3 large spoonfuls, that'll do me. Put the lid on. All I'm going to sterilise today will be the fermenting bucket and the spoon. Bloody hell. I won't be sterilising anything else, that's all I'm going to use. I won't be using the little hydrometer doobry thing yet. Because I'm not really sure how to use it, to be honest with you. So I'm going to stir that up in the old cauldron pot. Bloody hell, you're kidding yourself here. I'm going to leave the spoon in, put the lid on, seal it up. I might get a bleeding drink here. Bloody hell. Don't breathe it in. Just might be me, I've got a bit of gold. Swish it round. This is the plan, swish that round. God, blimey, what have we got here? While you're doing that, I'll have a cold one while I'm waiting. Right. That's to calm my nerves a bit, because I'm a bit... Right, I've switched it round, not properly obviously. Now I'm going to roll it around. Hold the handle. Put the spoon in here, didn't I? Yeah. Swish it around. It should be right to tip it, yeah. Tip it round so it touches all the surfaces. Give a good old swish. That should be sterilised. Okay. Everything should be sterilised there. Shake that about. The lids are nice and tight. Right. Gonna let that settle. Take another mouthful of beer. At this point, I'm going to pause the camera, stop the camera. Quite easy this being making, I think. Yeah, I don't know why I've left it so long. Still waiting for Amazon to do my Inkwell, keep calling Inkwell, Inkbird delivery, which is the heater. Yeah, Inkwell temperature controller. It controls the fridge and the heating element. The heating element, the probe, I'll be putting down this little thermowell, and that will maintain the temperature. Apparently it makes it a lot easier to brew the beer. Once I've heated up my canisters, I'm going to shoot indoors. I'm going to get some warm water, put them in some warm water. I've got two of those. I've got the bottle opener in my pocket, so let's get that out there. I've got the yeast. In actual fact, I might grab a pair of scissors. So I've got the instructions on my box, which I'm going to follow. I'm also going to follow some notes which I've got off the internet. If it all goes to plan, I'll type it all up and put it in the notes below this video. Clean out the fridge. New shelf to support beer. I've done that. I've cleaned the fridge out, wiped it out, took the glass fridge out. I'll show you that in the next video. I've taken the glass fridge out. I've put a piece of, if you watch my other videos, you realise I keep going back decorating, but I've got some new flooring in my house. A piece of flooring just fits in nicely. Not ideal wood, I suppose, but I've cut it to length, that's slid in. That will support this bucket a lot better than the glass shelf. I've taken all the glass shelves out, everything out of the fridge. Already had a hole in the side for me. If you watch my other videos again, you'll see that I've been doing some beer in a bag in there. So I've already got a hole in the side. I've set the Inkbird doobie up already, the temperature controller. But if you watch my rambling video prior to this video, if you go for a date order, you'll see that that Inkbird broke. I'm getting a Wi-Fi one, it's coming through today, but it hasn't been dispatched. I've been a bit let down, so I'm going to use this one temporarily. And I'll send it back. It's not adequate. It's alright, it's good, but I'd rather have the Wi-Fi one. But I'm going to use this one because I want to crack on with this today. I can't keep waiting. So my notes say, clean out the fridge, new shelf to support beer, done that. A sterilised bucket spoon. Sterilised bucket spoon, gallon warm water, 4 teaspoons spoon in, done that. Shake to rinse, done that. Put tins in warm hot water. Remove lids, pour into bucket. Oh, what did I miss out? I know. Clean it all out with cold water. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to shoot indoors, whack these in a pan of hot water, warm water, because we've got a hot water tap anyway, so whack it into that. Let it settle, because it makes all the stuff inside. What do you call it? I don't know what you called it. It doesn't matter what you call it, does it? Pre-beer. It makes the pre-beer, what's it say on it? It doesn't. It makes it a little bit runnier. Pour that in. I've watched enough videos and I've watched enough, read enough notes on it, so I'm going to leave this to settle down, sterilise everything, tip it all around. I don't want it spilling out anywhere. It's looking good, it's not, no, that's alright, that's good. Oops, right, I'm shooting indoors, whack that into some pots of warm water and I'll be back. I'll take the kettle with me because I might want some more water to put into that actually to tip that out. That's the plan. So I'll catch you in a second. Right, let's take this up to the kitchen. And let's get these nice and warm and running. Back in a sec. Right, so that's 1 pan of hot water there, 1 tin. You try and find a pan big enough to hold 2 of those tins. That's pretty warm. It's not boiling. So while that's sitting in there, I'm going to take the bucket up to the tap, tip this out and give it a good rinse with clean water, clean tap water. Clean water, rinsed it out a couple of times. Spoons in there as well. But I've rinsed this out a few times. I'm just going to give it a little shake as well. Can't really be a taste of steriliser. People have asked before, and I agree with them, sort of thing. You think it's a bit strange sterilising all your equipment and then putting dirty tap water on it, but apparently there's nothing wrong with tap water. And also when the beer, the yeast in the beer starts doing its stuff, it kills any bacteria while it's fermenting apparently anyway. So I'll just swap these 2 tins over. I've got a kettle of hot water behind me. Oop. Right, let's get that kettle on the go. So there's the spoon. Just go and tip this water out. Right, we're getting there, I think. Let's have a look at my little notes. Blah blah blah, add hot water to tin bucket, add 6 pints of boiling water to bucket. Right, okay. So what does this say? 6 pints of boiling water. How are you going to get 6 pints of boiling water? It's 1.7 litres. So 1.7 litres. So a couple of those really, isn't it? So that's a couple of kettlefuls. Alright. And then you add your glug stuff. Add 3.5 litres, 6 pints of boiling water. Top up the cold water to 23 litres, 40 pints, thoroughly mix. Not the best pour can contents still, yeah, it's a little bit different. This says pour the can contents into the bucket, add the water on top and stir it. Other people put the water in, it doesn't really matter, I don't suppose. That's what they're saying. So that spoon can stay in there clean. I've only held the end of it, that's good. Add 3.5 litres, 6 pints of boiling water, top up the cold water to 23 litres. So basically you need 6 pints and then cold water 3 litres, 23 litres, 40 pints. So 23 litres on here, 25, so it's up to there. So yeah, my thermowell won't touch that. Oh, hang on, 23, 26.5 litres. Oh, so it's right to the top. Sorry, 3.5 litres and then 23 litres. So it is near the top. So the thermowell will touch that. Yeah, well, so we're up to there somewhere. 23.5 litres, 6 pints boiling water, then 23. Right, okay. So let's just wax some. A couple of kettlefuls of boiling water, I think. This was going to be for the. Let's put that in there. So let's pour the old. Trip my lights out, that will. Don't want the crap at the bottom, do I? Right, another kettle of water. This is where you really need water on hand, really. So you should really do this in the kitchen, I suppose, but I wanted to do it down the bar the way. I only get mine out in the kitchen. It's a newish kitchen, so you really need water on hand to do this as and when, but I'm running in and out, but it doesn't matter, we'll get there in the end, I'm sure. Another kettle of water, then I'm going to tip the old beer stuff in and we'll give it a little mix. That's when it starts getting there, then I think that's the exciting bit, doing that. Nearly there, shoot up to the house, get some more water, another kettle full. Right, another kettle of water going on board. Get that on. Live and learn, don't you? I think in the next one, I think I have to hunt around for a pan. I'm using the best pan. She's got the ump. Well, she hasn't got the ump, but that's the best pan. So I need to hunt around for a decent pan, I think. That can take 2 of those. Is that? So I'll tip that over, I think. I'm going to tip the pan. So what I've done, I've put it in there. It's not the hottest. It should be a bit hotter, I would have thought, than that. You know what, I might cut the lid open and pour that in. Let's bring the camera in, have a little good look. Oh, this isn't quite hot enough to be fair. I mean, I can touch that. That's not going to, I don't think it's going to be hot enough. Shall I risk it? Or not? Let's open it up and have a go. Don't know. Yeah, let's take the lid off. Have a little go, shall we? Right. This is when your can opener doesn't work. Come on. All a learning curve this is. Bloody hell, these tins. Oh. Not the easiest to open. Be right to go around. I'm hoping this stuff pours out. God, it smells a bit dodge. God. Right, let's get a knife, take that lid out. God, they never told you about the smell, did they? Oh, there it is. Wow. That's pouring out all right, look. Oh, look at that. Look at that pour in. It's like treacle. This is when it will start happening. Yeah, there's a bit left in there, so we'll get what we do, pour hot water into that. I've got it all up the angle, look. Right, the kettle behind me is boiling. Like I've got a beer tap, put that on. This is not the best tutorial in the world, am I? Right. That hot water, that kettle's boiling a bit. You put some of that pan, then put that in. Don't want that. I don't want to put that into there. Oh, mate. Oh. Splashbacks. Oh, it's all sticky. Ugh. So what I'm basically doing now is getting some hot water into there and just rinsing that out. Oh, mate, that's muck. Pour that. It's pretty clear in there now. I think I've got everything out of it. Oh, I'm burning my bloody fingers. Right. Another beer towel. Right, this is what we've got so far. Thick glug, as they called it. I'll give that a little stir. And I'll knock up Get some more hot water for the next pan. It's quite warm, that one. Now, in there, it's pretty. That one's pretty clear now. That's all in there. Don't want to waste any. Mank. Beer towel. That's when you want your beer towels. Like you stick your fingers. You really need to do this in the kitchen. And you really need an empty house because you don't want anyone moaning at you. You know what I mean? That's why I'm doing it down here out of the way. That is sticky. Right. I'll just shoot up and get another kettle of water, I think. Back in the tick. Let that mature and stir, whatever it's called. It's not mature, it's just sitting there. Let that. Oh, yeah. Oh, we're getting there. You can't see the mess on this table. I must admit that. Oh, that stinks. I think it'd be worth it in the end though. I've just got to have one more tin of this stuff. This gluggy manky stuff. Then it takes one outside out of the way. Alright. That's quite warm. I'll turn it upside down for a bit. That's quite warm, that in. I'll turn it upside down and put it in there. It doesn't be hot, it just wants to be a bit runny. Once you tip it out of hot water after, you're not wasting anything, are you? Right, let's grab my instructions. See what we've got to do next. Right, blah blah blah. Pour can contents distillator. With this all malted beer kit, you do not need to add any sugar. That's good. Add 3.5 litres, 6 pints of boiling water. Top up with cold water to 23 litres. So you can do it either way, but what I'm doing at the moment, I'm adding a few litres of hot water, pouring those tins in which have been warmed up already, pouring that in, going to mix all that up, then I'm going to fill it up with cold. So it's 23 litres plus 3.5 litres, 26.5 litres. Once that's done, finally mix, everything's dissolved, then you sprinkle on your yeast sachets. Onto the beer. Cover the ferment and leave it to stand for 7 to 10 days in a warm place between 18 to 20. And that's it. So that's when it goes in the fridge. That'll be my second. Video. And what's my notes here say that I've got? Put this into warm hot water. Remove lids, point and bucket. Add hot water to tin. Wash into bucket. That's it. All tins are clear. That's it. Add 6 pints of boiling water to bucket. Pretty much the same as that. Stir well till glug are gone. I'm calling it glug. I don't know what the technical term is, so I'm calling it glug. Top up with cold water, 40 pints, 5 gallons, 23 litres. Check specific gravity, write it down, take temperature. I'm not sure if I'm doing any of that, to be honest with you. I just want to get it in the fridge, really. Right, let's open up this next tin. Go for it, shall we? Tin opener. It's quite a stiff old can, these are. It's not like a tin of beans. It's not an easy job. Ooh. I think I've warmed this one up a bit better than the last. And I'll take this lid, open it up a bit more. Right. Kettle's boiling away behind us, which is good. Sharp knife. Try and get under that lid. Oh, it's like treacle. There you go. Pour that in. Can 2. Bit warm this one, so it's running a bit better. Kettle's boiling behind me, which is perfect timing. Pan of water I've got here. I might as well use that as well. Get that in there as well. It's like being in the Harry Potter bleeding school, isn't it? Right. There's a kettle. Right. Rinse this puppy out. leave that in there a little bit till it burns your fingers. That is pretty. Ooh. Waste not want what you want every bit out of there really. Ooh. That's pretty clear, that tin now. There's a bit left there. Right. Ooh. I'll do that's clear, that tin. Right, get rid of this empty tin outside with all the other rubbish. Right. Sticky hands. Right. Now you stir this up. Apparently, let's bring the camera in. You stir this up until all that glug, if you can see that glug on the spoon there, you stir that up until that's pretty much all gone. We're nearly there now, I'm quite pleased. A bit unorganised, I know, that's me. I've never done it before. As I say, it'd be easy with a water supply handy. I think that's pretty good now, look, there's no blood there, there's no solid stuff, it's all runny, yeah? So that's how you got to get it, all runny like that, there's no... That... Look, that's looking like proper beer. It's got a head on it. Wow. That's it, it wasn't too hard. So we're there now. I've put 2 tins in. I got a bit panicky at first. I've never done it before. It's a bit sticky. I've not really got a water supply down the shed, down the bar here, which is something I'll be looking at in the future. I'm calming down a bit now. I can relax a bit now. I've just checked the fridge and it's at 20 degrees Celsius. That's in the next video. I'll show you the setup in there. So I'm gonna read my instructions because that's all stirred up fully now. There's no gluggy stuff in there. I've calmed down a bit now. There's no gluggy globules. Right, so it's 3.5 litres. I'll keep repeating this. Top up level 23 litres and flow is mixed with short comes fully dissolved. So basically I need to go in up to the tap there. 3.5 plus 23, 26.5 litres. So 26.5. So if I go up near to the top, to the 27 mark. Once that's done with cold water, sprinkle both yeast sachets onto the beer, cover the fermenter and leave it to stand for 7 to 10 days in a warm place between 18 to 20. Fermentation will be complete when bubbles cease to rise. If you use a hydrometer, when the gravity remains constant below, I've not used a hydrometer, I might look into that at a later date at my next batch. Transfer the beer into bottles or pressure barrel with a little sugar, half a teaspoon per pint of tomato. Right, I've got a pressure barrel on the go and that's my next job. Not today. Stand bottles are bound in a warm place for 2 days. Right, so let me check my other notes I've made. Blah blah blah. Add 6 pints of boiling water to bucket. Stir well, glug gone. Top with cold to 40 pints, 5 gallons, 23 litres. Actually, got that wrong. It's 26 litres. Check specific gravity. Write it down. Take temperature 20. Ready to pour and use. Sprinkle lid. Store at 20 for 5 days. It says here. So these are notes I've got off the other places on the internet. Store at 20 for 5 days. Siphon it to sterilised barrel. Add sugar. Second fermentation. Stir into dissolve. Right. Well, I'll look at that in a later date. So basically, I've got to top this up with cold water. Put the lid on and then I can calm down. I do believe I need to add a little bit of warm water to this. Now warm water or boiled water is sterilised anyway, so if I, in actual fact, if I get some boiled water here and add that into there, like so. So that little vessel's full of warm water, and I'll put the lid on. It's a bit near the top actually, to set that out a little bit. Like that, so that's some sort of air valve debris, I don't know, I'll look it up, but anyway. So that's that. Right, so let's put that back down over there. It's ready to rock and roll that. Right, I'm going to shoot up to the tap and fill that up to near the top. Back soon. Right, I've been up to the tap. I filled it up to 26 litres. 27 actually, they just meant to be 26 and a half, but I've got 27. Oh, I've cut the lids off the yeast packets, 2 yeast packets. I've got to sprinkle it on the top and put the lid on. Word of warning, right? Not one bit of information. I've never seen anyone mention the weight of these. These, when they're filled up, I mean, it goes without saying really, but does it? When they're filled up to 26 litres, 27 litres, they are heavy. This barrel is heavy. It's a flimsy plastic barrel with a flimsy little handle. If you're a little bit older, I don't know how you're meant to walk about the house with these. I mean, how did my dad in the old days carry the boots kits? I'm sure he put them in the airing cupboard, but I don't know how in the old days, how do people carry these about? I mean, I've seen women online, no disrespect to them. I've seen women online making in the kitchen. Maybe they leave it in their kitchen, I don't know. But that, carrying it from the tap down to here, was a bloody nightmare. I'm sitting down to have a rest and having a mouthful. And a mouthful of beer to relax a little bit, because that was... That's done me up, that is. God, I've got to get that in the fridge yet. Oh, that little shelf I've made. No wonder I've changed the shelf, and like I did, I was going to leave it. I didn't realise it would be so heavy. Right. Apparently I'm letting that settle down a little bit. I'm at the 27 mark. Now I've just got to get this yeast, and I'll just sprinkle this on apparently. Let's bring the camera in. Put the camera down, should I say. And there we go, a little sprinkle. Well, that's weird, it brings it down. Wow, I feel like it's making beer already. God, the smell. Look, it kills all the bubbles, look. That's weird. Fascinating, it's fascinating. I wonder if it's going to come out any good. If it does, I'll be well pleased. I'll tip it near the edge, get that. I'll get the lid on. Well, done at last. It took a while. Let's get the super duper lid on. Now I've got this thermometer somewhere stuck on the front. I'll give you a little sticky thermometer. I want that like that because my thermowell I need near there. So that lid. Oh, I feel like stuff's happening already, so I don't know why. So that's the beer. The bits and... I mean, is that... No, I don't know. Let do it stuff, I don't know. I'm sort of like you guys. If you're new to this, I make it up as I go. I'm just following the instructions that I've seen. I'm following instructions on the box. And it's all in there. I topped it up a little bit high. It went to 27 and 20... Oops, if I press that. I think there's pressure happening already. Look. It's doing something. Was that just... I think the lid's going to explode. That's why I got this little valve thing, I think. I thought the lid exploded. And then I've got to put my thermal, my probe, my temperature probe in there, the thermowell in there. So let's just read the rest of the instructions, see what I've got to do. So as long as I've got the temperature right. Right, so I'm topped up 23 litres plus 3.5, 26.5 litres. I'm to add thoroughly mixed gel, I've mixed it all. Sprinkle both yeast sessions onto the beer, cover the fermenter and leave to stand for 7 to 10 days in a warm place between 18 and 20 C. Fermentation will be complete when bubbles cease to rise. Use hydrometer, right. So I don't know about the fermentation when the bubbles cease. Yeah, I suppose when the bubbles cease to rise. Apparently you're keeping on this little doobry. And my other instructions, notes I've got here. blah blah blah, 6 pints of boiling water to bucket, done that. Top up cold water, 40 pints, 5 gallons, 26 litres actually. So okay. Let it pour on yeast. Sprinkle on the yeast, put the lid on, store at 20 for 5 days. And I'll look at the rest up and I'll work it out. So I'll store at 20 for 5 days. I'll keep an eye on it, I'll keep popping down. And now I've got to get that into the fridge. And I'll show you my fridge setup. So give this little lid a dry. Now, so that's that, people. I'm worn out. Very stressful. The next batch I'm sure won't be as stressful. Just me being so stressed. I'm still tired out of bringing that down here. Done it, sterilised the bits and bobs, poured it all in, hot cold water, topped it up. They make it look a bit complicated on the internet. It's not that complicated. Sterilise everything, put it all in, put your 2 tins in or 1 tin, add the yeast, mix it up, etc. Obviously don't mix it up when you've got the yeast on. I think I've done it all okay, I think. I've not took like hydrometer reading or anything. I'll look into that another time, I don't really know. Part 2 will follow on this one. I'm just going to shove it in the fridge because I've made what's called a fermentation fridge. So I could put that somewhere warm. I don't know how you meant to walk that around your house or find somewhere warm at 20 at constant temperature. Maybe just leave it. Maybe the fermentation fridge is the way to go. Maybe it will create a better beer. I'm sure people that normally make beers, they put it into the different areas in the house. I don't see how they're going to make it 20. I don't know. I've got a beer fridge. That's why I made it down the pub shed, really. I've got a beer fridge behind me that I can utilise. So if that works, we're laughing. Part 2, click up there or up there. Please like, subscribe. Rough and ready video, I know, but let's see the outcome. And don't moan and whinge at me. Let's see it in the next video. Let's see in a few weeks' time how the beer comes out. If it tastes lovely, you can eat your words. Wasp. Who knows? I've given it a go. I do know that when I've done it in the fermenter, when it's fermented, and I'll transfer it to my barrel, I do know I won't be able to put that in the fridge, I don't think. I have to put it on the top of the barrel, I think. Because I was going to put it through a beer engine, but that's not going to work. I need to go down the corny keg route. I think if you look into my other videos, I'll talk about that. Because if I put it into the barrel, pressurised barrel, I don't think it will pull through the pump properly because it will create a vacuum. With a beer in a bag, I think the bag sucks in as you pull as you create the vacuum. I think, you know, I'm no expert. The barrel that I've got, I don't think will work. I did just show you. I did have the barrel. Give me other. Thank you to one of my subscribers that mentioned that the taps do turn. They look fully sealed, but they do turn. Because I'm in my other video where I get all my bits out and show people what I've bought. Didn't look like it turns, but it does turn there. You can't see it, really, really tight. So I put that on, that's fitted. Actually, I've got to take that out and put Vaseline on that, it just reminded me. But I'll do that near the time when I go to sterilise all this up and use this. But I don't think I'll be able to put this in the fridge and do what I wanted. I'll just sit on the bar, that'd be fine. If I get a nice pint out of it, join me in a few weeks' time, we'll pour one out together and we'll do a little video and see what it comes out like. If it works, it doesn't, I'll tip it away and probably give up actually. But from what I've heard, good reports. All for now. Cut the video. I'll see you in the next one. Ta-da.